Today we're going to be designing these simple garden markers. It's an easy project, but it doesn't mean we can't have a little bit of fun with it. We're going to design it in Inkscape and prepare it for K40 Whisperer. If you'd like to see us make this project, be sure to check out this video over here. Otherwise, let's get designing. So we're going to be designing up some garden markers, and what we're going to do is we're going to engrave the vegetables that we're planting on some tongue depressors or craft sticks. And it's not going to be, this is a little bit more utilitarian. It's not going to be super fancy, but we still want it to look nice. So I'm going to take the square tool here and I'm going to measure out just kind of my work area within the laser. And I figure my laser is about 8 inches tall, about 12 inches wide. And so I'm going to put those dimensions in. 12 inches wide, there we go. And this kind of gives me a rough idea of how much space I could work with. So this is going to represent the laser bed. So let's go ahead and create our tongue depressors. So I'm going to grab the rectangle again, and I measured these tongue depressors out with calipers, and I found that they were 0.7 inches wide. Yours might be a little bit different, so make sure you take accurate measurements. Mine are also 6 inches tall, and let's go ahead and zoom in a little bit. As you can kind of see, this tongue depressor is square. Tongue depressors aren't square, they're rounded. So I'm going to grab this this square tool again, and in the upper right corner you see this little dot here. If you grab that and you pull that down, and what that does is it rounds out the corners of a square. So now that when you zoom out, it looks like a proper tongue depressor. Okay, so we're just going to mark these out. Let's just do our first one. We're going to do carrots. And I think I'm going to do them all in caps. And let's go ahead and change the font. So let's find something over here that looks kind of nice. Yeah, we'll just kind of keep going until we find something I kind of like that. Let's go with bold though. And we'll click apply, and now we have our words here. So I'm going to double click on that, and that's going to give me these rotating nodes here. And I'll hold down the control, and that snaps the degrees. So I'm going to just rotate it 90 degrees, and I'm going to place this in here. I don't want the letters to go beyond the halfway point, because probably the bottom part, or at least the halfway, it's going to be stuck into the dirt. So I think if we keep it above the halfway mark, I think it'll look kind of nice. So we could do something like that, and maybe we have a little bit of space up here for a little graphic. Now, I don't necessarily want to find a graphic representation of every single vegetable that we're doing, but I still kind of want it to look nice. So I did a Google search. I found these dragonflies over here. There's some butterflies here. There's a little bumblebee, which I think is kind of fun. Let's take these dragonflies. I'm going to just copy that image into my clipboard, and then I could just paste it in. And I'm going to come up here to path, and let's see, path, trace bitmap, and I'm going to just click OK, and there's my bitmap. I'll just delete the original image because we're just going to work with the bitmap. To break these apart, Control-Shift-K will break them apart, and then you could access each one of these individually. So I think that's what I'll do. I'll just kind of pull them apart, and then to put them back together, Control-K will combine them. So I'm just going to do that for the rest of these. And I'm going to do the same thing with the butterflies. And that way we'll just have a few things that we can work with. So I'm going to just copy that into my clipboard. Again, paste the image in, click OK for the trace bitmap. There's my vector there, and I can delete my old bitmap. And then these are a little bit easier, so I'll just do Control-Shift-K to break them all apart. There's really nothing to recombine, so I'll just set that to the side as well. And I really want that bumblebee, so let's do that real quick. Oh, yeah, we'll just copy that into the clipboard, paste that in. Click OK on there. I got my vector, and I think that's kind of cute. So we'll go ahead. Now we have a few graphics that we can kind of work with. So I'm going to use the bumblebee first. So we're going to just shrink that down just a hair. We don't want it very big on the popsicle stick. It's just something to add a tish bit of decoration, which I think is kind of fun. And then we'll go ahead and select this. We'll select carrots and the popsicle stick. And then I'm going to center everything so that they're centered vertically. And then I'll just, yeah, so we got our first one taken care of. I'm going to, let's see, let's group this first, and then we could put it on our laser bed here. And I'm going to duplicate that, Control D, and then we're off onto our next one. I have a whole list of vegetables that we need to do. So lettuce is next, so maybe we'll do, click into that, lettuce. And then let's change out the graphic to a butterfly instead. So we'll move our little bumblebee friend out, and let's grab this little butterfly. And we'll put him right there. Okay, well that's looking pretty good. So I'm going to select that, group it, and then move that into position. And duplicate that, and then I'll move on to the next set of vegetables. So let me go ahead and do that, and then I'll show you where we left off. Okay, so I went through and I made a number of different vegetables. I reuse a lot of these same graphics. You know, I don't have to get too carried away with the graphics, but this is kind of what we have, and I'll do a couple of different batches. And in fact, these are going to be so easy to make. I might make 2 or 3 of each one of these things, and that way we have them for the next several years. So I'm going to select all of the, what we want to do, let's do this. I'm going to take these the carrots here, and I'm going to take the peas, and we're going to position those kind of where we want them on our bed. And then everything that's in the middle, I'm just going to select everything and then deselect the larger square, which represents our laser. I'm going to go ahead and deselect that. And then for align and distribute, you have this option here where you could distribute along the center, equidistant along all of these. So if you click this, well, it looks like beets and this butterfly were not grouped. So let's Control Z that out, and we'll go ahead and select that and make sure that's grouped. Okay, let's try that again. Deselect my laser bed, and then we'll go ahead and distribute equally, and that puts even spaces between each one of these popsicle sticks or these tongue depressors. And then what we want to do is keep them all on the same plane. So I'm going to kind of align them to the top edges, and something like that I think looks pretty good. So what we got to do now is kind of get rid of everything that we don't need. So we don't need the bed anymore, and we don't need all of this extra clip art, so I'm going to delete all of that. And then I'm going to come up here to File, Document Properties, and we need to resize the graphics so that it's the appropriate size. So I'm going to come down here to where it says Resize Page to Content. I'm going to click the little button that says Resize Page, Drawing, or Selection. I'm going to click that. And what is important here is that the units are in actual units of measurement, such as millimeters or inches. If it's in pixels, K40 Whisperer will not be able to read it. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and save this as Garden Markers 1. And then I'll probably create another set of garden markers, probably for some things like different herbs and stuff like that that we're also growing. So I think that'd be kind of nice. And that's how we design these garden markers. If you'd like to see this project come together, be sure to check out this video right here. If you found this video useful, be sure to hit that thumbs up button. That really helps me out an awful lot. And if you like what I do, please subscribe. I'd love to have you on board. Anyway, that's all I got for this time. Thanks for watching, guys. Bye.